Hello everyone, my name is Ravindra and I welcome you to my live stream. Okay, if anyone has any question, so they can ask in the comment box. So today's topic is apply to each and do until action in the Microsoft Power Automate. So let's we go and see the Power Automate. So I just landed to the Power Automate. So let's we go and in the controls. So we have do until and apply to each action. So first we see the do until. So what is do until? I hope you use the many languages, okay, like Python, JavaScript. So in that we have the while loop, okay. So do until is also represent a while loop in the Microsoft Power Automate. So let's take one condition here, loop until, okay. So in this action we need a variable as well, okay, because if you want to run this, okay, so we need to stop this action as well, okay, means at the certain condition. So that purpose we need variable. So let's we go and initialize a variable. So let's I go in the built-in connectors, let's go in the variable section. In the variable section we have initialize variable. So this we use for the initialization purpose. So let's we use where do until, and we will set this as a number integer, okay, and value for now we will set it to the 0, okay. So now I want to run this loop, okay, until 10 times. So what I can do, I will go in the plus action, okay. Let's I go to the variable section and we have the increment variable. So if I use the same variable and increment by 1, okay, so this action, this value will increase by 1 in each loop, okay, and at the end we will use the condition like this, where do until, okay, so where this element when become it is 10, okay, just exit the loop, okay. And in this do until action we have some additional parameters, okay. One is count, means how much time you want to run this, okay. Maximum by default limit is 60, okay, but if you use some a random number, okay, and just click outside, okay, so here it is not giving the count, okay. If I go to settings, but in our old designer it gives the count as well, okay, for the do until action. So that count is, let's say, give you, so max we can set it to the 5000, okay. So if I exceed that limit and you run this flow, at that time you will receive an error here, okay. So let's we try and run and let's see what error we will get here. So let's I save this, but if I run this, so it will take lot of time and we will less waste lot of time. So we are just keeping this and setting it to the 50 for 10, or we say 20 only, okay. If our condition is not met, so in that case after the 20 iterations this loop will end automatically, okay. So let's figure what time it should end. So this is the standard UTC format here we are following. So PT1H means after a 1 minute it should time out. So you can increase that, okay, like 3 minutes, 4 minutes. If you want to increase hours, you can increase the hours as well. And let's we go and run this loop. Okay. So if you see, or do until action is running or flow is running and it is runs 10 time, okay. And if I go at the last of this, okay, and see the increment variable, so our variables value in the output is become to the 10. Okay, so in this way you can perform do until action. Okay, so in do until action you can also use a set variable as well. Okay, if I go in the built-in action, let's go to the variable section, and we have the set variable. If you working with the data activities like deleting the records in the SharePoint or adding the records in the specific data source, so in that case you can use the set variable as well. So it will fetch the latest count and use the variable. So set is used to change our variable simply. Okay, like if we have the variable value, first we initialize as a 0, and in the loop we want to set it to the 10, so we can directly change the variable by using set variable. So you can use this as well. So do until is done. Let's we go and see the apply to each action. So this is most commonly used action in the Microsoft Power Automate. Let's we go. If you see in the, we have a select an output from the previous step. So in this action you need to always give an array here. Okay, so let's we go and pass one array here. Okay, let's I create one array. So let's we go and simply paste the array here. So you can see friends, I just use a array here. Okay, student id, name, email, course, grade, this information we are provided. Okay, so if I want to do some operation in this array, okay, so I can use this apply to each action. Okay, like it will, if you use the programming language, okay, so in that we have the for all condition, so it will work same as it is as a for all. Okay, so also in apply to each, if you want to run this loop in the parallel, okay, if you want to pass this entire item, okay, like if in some of the cases what happen, the apply to each action take very long time. So to increase or reduce that time, okay, we can increase this degree of parallelism. So this apply to each action will run or pass the 50 item in a single go. So if you are doing the 50 item in single go, so your time will reduce and you will get the maximum efficiency. So you can use this. So let's we go and perform some operations here. Okay, so in apply to each, we have the student id here. Okay, so if the student id is this, okay, yes, 003, so in that case I want to update this record. Okay, and I want to change the grade of this user to the a minus to the a plus. So let's we do this. Okay, so for that purpose let's we use condition. In the condition we will use here, okay, item. Okay, each row in the Power Automate represented by an item in any loop. So in the item we will use the open bracket, close bracket, question mark. Okay, so from that item means a record. Okay, in the single what we want this information. Okay, the grade, so we just simply use the this name. Okay, grade means column name. And in condition, let's we go one more time, item, question mark, square bracket, and just we use the grade as it is. Let's click on the plus and is equal to what value we had copied, just we paste that. Yes, I use Windows V, and yes, 003. For this specific condition we need to do this operation. Okay, so let's we go in the data operation. Okay, so now we want to update this. Okay, so what we can do, Simply let's we go. So simply for now, we not have any condition. We simply not using this in variable. Okay. So I just simply passing entire array and changing the grade to the plus here. Okay. So now let's try and run this Power Automate flow. Let's go manually trigger. Click on save and test. Let's run the flow. Done. So our flow is running. Our flows run successfully. And if you see friends, our flows run 4 times. First condition is become false. Okay. If we go in the second one is also become false. But if we go in the third one, okay, so our last condition is also become false. Let's see go to the last one. Okay. So all conditions become false. Let's see why this happens. Okay. Expression is false. Let's we go. Let's use here compose operation, and here we will use the same thing that we are pass here. Okay. So we'll get idea what value we are getting. In the compose we simply paste this. In condition we pass the S003. So we'll pass this in the expression. Okay. Let's we go. To pass the string, we will use a string operation. From bracket, close bracket in the text format. We'll pass this. Let's click on the add. Let's save and test. And let's run this flow one more time. So in the first action, oh, we are passing the grade. Okay. So we need to pass here the student ID. Okay. So let's we go in the condition instead of grade. Okay, grade we need to update. So that's why here is we have the mistake. Let's we go in the power effects. We will use our item question mark square bracket, and same thing here as well. So if you see friends in the third action, our ID is matching and we are successfully updating the record here. Okay. So in the similar way, you can update your Dataverse, SharePoint, or any other records here. Okay. So let's I click on the cross icon, and that's all about friends in this session. Now we will go for the questions here. So we have our one of the guests available with us. So let's ask them a question. You have any doubt?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so my doubt is you have used the question mark
Mm-hmm.
in the expression. So, what is the use of that question mark in Power Automate?
Okay. So let's understand. Okay, it is good question. So let's I go in the compose action one more time. So let's add one more. Let's click on the plus icon. Click here. Okay, compose action, and in this one we simply go to the expressions and use here item. Okay. So item is represent to the single record. Okay, means all the row here. So let's we rename this compose item. Okay, and whenever we want to select the column, okay, column value, in that we will give question mark for the distinguish between them. Okay, like I want to select a column, so that's why I just give a question mark, and then we use the square bracket and the student id there. Okay, so if their student id is missing, then in that case we will not receive any error. So let's we first see practically, then you will understand it more better. Let's add one more point here. Okay, go to the, in the last we do it. Okay, in the data operation, let's go to compose, power fx expression, item, without question mark we are giving the column name here. Okay, student id, just click on the add. So if you see, my expression is taken. Okay, so if I run the flow will also run and we will get the same value as well. Okay, so let's I use this one. So if you see, our flows run successfully, and in compose 3 also we are getting S001. Okay, and compose item, if you see, in the item we are getting the entire record. Okay, like this one, entire record, item is representing the entire record, and by using question mark we successfully get the values. Okay, so let's get why we are giving the question mark here. Okay, let's I go to the apply to each action. Okay, and this loop. Okay, we will pass this value. Okay, as null here. Okay, we are not pass anything in the second loop. Okay, and let's see what's happened. Or if there is a null value, in that case the compose 3 will use an error. So let's see we are getting or no. Okay, so we go one more time and apply to each. Instead of the string format we'll use expression here. Okay, and type here null. Null represent the nothing. Okay, so let's we go and run now. So friends, in this case our flow is running successfully, but in sometimes what's happen, if we not use the question mark. Okay, in that case our flows is failed. Okay, so here it is running successfully, but as a best practice we just use the question mark. So if there is any null value, so it will bypass and we will not get an error here. So that's why purpose we use the question mark here. But if you not pass that, it is giving us the correct output. So we thanks to our guest, we also learn something new from them. So let's ask they're having some more doubts or not, and also take the feedback of this session.
Thank you, Ravindra, for your valuable guidance. Can you please explain the tomorrow's session topic?
Sure. So tomorrow we will cover, okay, the number function. Okay, then the power apps connector as well, and if these all the built-in connectors once we done, then we will go to the standard connectors. Okay, some of the standard connector we will take. Okay, then we'll go with some of the advanced topic scenarios, and then we will see how to create custom connector and other things. Okay, so we are going slowly but learning something new day by day. Thanks. If you have any question, any doubts, you can also ask me in the comment box. I'm there to help you out, friends. Thank you. Have a nice day.